Before there was light, there was a decision. Before there was time, there was a contraction. The oldest Hebrew scrolls teach that the infinite, the original source, was everything. There was no empty space, no where, no when. Only an endless, blinding unity so complete that nothing else could exist. And then, the source did something incomprehensible. It withdrew. It contracted itself into a single, infinitesimal point to create a void, a cosmic womb, where something other than the source could exist. That void is the first letter of the Torah. That void is the Bet. The very first word of Genesis, Bereishit, does not describe a timeline. It does not describe a clock. It describes a container, a cosmic house, a womb that holds the entire universe. The ancient scribes said, "Why does the scroll of existence begin with a Bet?" Because Bet is a house, and creation is the dwelling place of the eternal. But here is the terrifying, beautiful mystery they don't teach you in Sunday school. The Bet is closed on three sides, top, bottom, and right, and open only to the left. It faces forward. It means you cannot look behind the beginning. You cannot see what came before the contraction. You can only move into the mystery. And the word Bereishit, it is not in the beginning. It is with the head of. Stick with me, because this head is not a time. It is a crown, and you are wearing it. Let us enter the cave of the letter Bet. In the Paleo-Hebrew script, Bet was not a square. It was a tent floor plan, a dwelling place, a shelter for a nomad wandering through the abyss. But to the early cosmic thinkers, Bet was the feminine principle of containment, the great mother who spreads her tent over the chaos. She is the immanent, receptive space that holds the masculine, explosive energy of creation. Look at the shape of the Bet. It has a roof, the top line, a floor, the bottom line, and a back wall, the right line. The only opening is to the left, into the future. The ancient sages asked, why is the Bet open to the left and not the right? Their answer, the right side represents mercy and expansion. The left side represents structure and discipline. Creation is an act of definition. To create a universe, the source had to draw a line. It had to say, this is light, this is darkness, this is a boundary. The Bet is the boundary. The Bet is the primordial contraction, the holding back of the infinite so that the finite could breathe. The earliest Hebrew cosmologists taught that the first act of creation was not, let there be light, it was, let there be emptiness. Without the Bet, there is no container for the light. Without the container, the light would shatter the vessel. You cannot pour an ocean into a thimble. The first word of Genesis, Bereishit, is the name of that vessel. It is the contraction that made the Big Bang possible. Without the silence, there is no music. Now, we unlock the root. Bereishit comes from the root Rosh, Roash. Rosh means head. But in this ancient cosmology, head is not anatomy. It is the crown, the highest, most inaccessible point of pure will that precedes all thought. The early sages called this crown the most hidden of all hidden things. It is the point of pure, undifferentiated desire, the will to create. It has no shape, it has no name, it simply decides. When you say Bereishit, you are saying, with the crown of. This is not a chronological beginning. This is a hierarchical beginning. It is the origin of authority, not the origin of time. In ancient Near Eastern thought, the head was the seat of kingship. The king speaks, and the kingdom moves. The king dreams, and the kingdom shifts. So, the verse is saying, with the king's decree, with the decree of the crown, the source created. Do you understand what this means for you? The Hebrew word for beginning is not a point on a timeline. It is a sovereign decision. Your personal Genesis, your origin story, is not where you were born. Your origin story is the first decision you made about who you are. The moment you said, this is me. That decision is the head. That decision is the crown. And that decision is happening right now in this moment as you watch this video. You are recrowning yourself or you are letting the crown fall. The sages say the Bet is not empty. Inside the Bet, inside the cosmic womb, there is a silent guest, the Aleph. Aleph is the first letter of the Hebrew alphabet, but it is silent. It makes no sound. It is the breath, the silent inhalation that precedes all speech. The Bet is the house. The Aleph is the inhabitant. The Bet is the body. The Aleph is the soul. The ancient texts teach that the Aleph at the beginning of the scroll is hidden. You cannot see it. You can only sense it, because the infinite cannot be contained. So it hides itself inside the very structure it creates. This is the mystery of your own existence. You are a Bet, a finite container of flesh and bone. And inside you, there is an Aleph, a silent, infinite spark that cannot be destroyed by circumstance, trauma, or time. The first word of Genesis is not telling you about a distant deity. The first word of Genesis is telling you about the infinite inside you. Bereishit, with the head of, means, from the crown of your own silence you create your reality. But the early cosmologists warn us. There is a shadow. The Bet is a container. But what does it contain? Genesis 1:2 says, "And the earth was without form and void." In Hebrew, Tohu vavohu. Tohu means astonishment or desolation. Vohu means emptiness. The oldest interpretations say that before the light was organized, there was a primordial chaos that had to be contained. That chaos is the residue of the original contraction. It is the fallout of the infinite stepping back to make room for us. Why does this matter? Because your life is a Bet. You are a container. And inside you, there is Tohu vivohu. Chaos, confusion, anxiety, unprocessed trauma. The without form and void of your own soul. The first word of Genesis does not promise you a peaceful existence. It promises you a container for the chaos. It promises you the head, the crown, the authority to look at your void and say, there is form in this, there is purpose in this, I will define you. Here is the ultimate paradox that will break your brain. The Bet is a finite shape. It has three sides. It is limited. It is a container. But it contains the Aleph, the silent, infinite breath of the Creator. The ancient sages said, the eternal is the place of the universe, but the universe is not its place. Meaning, the infinite is contained in the Bet, but it is also outside the Bet. It is both the container and the contained, the infinite and the finite, the crown and the head. This is the secret of Bereishit. It is the name of the intersection between the timeless and the temporary. When you speak the word Bereishit, when you mean it, you are standing at that intersection. You are the finite Bet, and you are opening yourself to the Aleph. You are the crown, and you are receiving the decree of your own life. But I have saved the most terrifying secret for last. The Bet is the first letter of the Torah, but the scroll is written with a tradition. The scribe must leave a space before the Bet, a white space, a gap. The early masters called this the smooth place, the void before the void. That white space is the original silence. It is the pure, undifferentiated light that existed before the contraction, the first thought before the first word. And the sages whispered, in that white space there are other letters, letters that were too holy to be written, letters that shattered when they touched the finite world. Those are the fragments of creation, the sparks of infinity that fell into the Tohu. Your task, as a conscious being, is to find those fragments in your own chaos and raise them back to the crown. Next week, I am taking you into the abyss of the second verse. I am going to decode the void and show you why your deepest emptiness is actually the raw material for your highest revelation. If this video found you, it wasn't an accident. The Aleph inside you recognized the Bet of this channel. Subscribe, but do it intentionally. Do it with the awareness that you are building a house for light. Yields. Bereishit. The crown is already on your head. You just forgot to wear it.